guys, my name is Vanessa and I'm going to walk you through a quick flow today incorporating downward facing dog, upward facing dog, and child's pose. Perfect. To start, we're going to come into a tabletop position. So plant your hands underneath your shoulders and fold under your back toes. You're going to engage your lower belly by drawing your belly button in towards your spine. Roll your shoulders up and back and then lift your knees up off the ground. Next, let's sink our chest towards the ground. Maybe you need to readjust. We're coming into our downward facing dog here. So sometimes you might have to move your feet backwards a little bit. And so you're just going to want to plant your hands nice and firmly, press into the ground with your hands, and sink your chest closer to your mat. At the same time, you'll want to focus on lifting your hips up towards the sky, engaging your core by drawing your lower ribs in, and allowing your head to completely release. Awesome. Great, and the next step is to lower your heels towards the ground if you can. You'll want to protect your knees as much as you can, so if this hurts at all, keep a bend in your knees. That's no problem at all. Great, so next let's come into our upward facing dog. So you're going to want to come up onto your toes, and then starting with your tailbone, drop your hips, roll through your spine here, and then if you want an easier transition, you can drop your knees here first. And then you're going to squeeze your glutes and just roll your hips forward and sink them down to the ground. Point your toes and then roll through your spine and look all the way up to the sky. Perfect. Roll your shoulders up and back and press your hands into the ground as you lift your knees up off the ground here. Lovely. And if you wanted the slightly more difficult transition from your downward facing dog, you're going to come up onto your toes, drop the base of your spine, roll through your spine here, come into a plank first, and then squeeze your glutes and lower your hips towards the ground, rolling through the spine, looking up, pointing your toes last. Roll your shoulders up and back, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Lovely, and the next pose we're going to go into is our child's pose. So first, drop your knees to the ground, keep your glutes engaged, roll through the spine, starting with the base of your spine again. So lower your hips, roll through the spine, coming back, sinking your hips down towards your ankles and letting your head rest on the ground last. Great, now take a nice deep breath into the base of your spine here. And if you want to deepen the stretch, you can start to inch your fingertips forward, or you can also come up onto your fingertips here. Great, taking a nice deep breath into the base of the spine here. And on your next exhale, you can drop your palms towards the ground again. Engage your glutes. It's always important to engage the glutes to protect the lower back. And then roll all the way up to tabletop pose here again. Perfect, so let's go through the entire flow. We'll go through just once. And beginning in tabletop again. Great, so plant your hands nice and firmly on the ground, spread your fingers nice and wide. Fold under your back toes, engage your lower belly by drawing your belly button in towards your spine and lifting your knees up off the ground first. Next, press your hands into the ground as you sink your chest towards your mat. Slowly start to lift your hips up towards the sky. Draw your belly button in towards your spine, bring your lower ribs in, and then start to straighten your legs if you can, sinking your heels towards the ground. Let your head hang nice and loose here, and take a deep breath into the base of your spine. Next, come up onto your toes, roll forward, and either you drop your knees or you do the more difficult pose that we did before, where you just roll right to plank. Squeeze your glutes, lower your hips towards the ground, point your toes, press your hands into the ground as you roll your shoulders up and back. Look up and lift up your knees. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, drop your knees to the ground. Squeeze your glutes. Roll through the spine, coming all the way back into your child's pose. Sink your hips towards the ground and your ankles. Allow your forehead to rest on your mat. Inch your fingertips forward if you'd like to deepen the stretch. And come up onto your fingertips if you'd like to deepen it more. Plant your hands on the ground and roll up to tabletop.
Great, so there you have a flow that you can do at home, and it's really great if you're having any back problems. It will lengthen out your spine really nicely. So while you're not able to visit the chiropractor, this is something that you can do at home. Great, thank you so much for watching. Bye.